Hi everybody, how are you all doing tonight? It is now Sunday, February the 18th, about 8 p.m. And I just want to do a quick evening update before I actually hit the sack here. I'm on Romania time now, and I actually got a lot of things to do. I got to head back home because I was staying at the folks for the weekend here. And I gotta sleep and adjust my time to Romanian time so I can trade with my friend Val. That's more so a joke. I'm more so just staying up like very weird hours right now. But I think that a quick update is well deserved. Do you guys like quick updates? Like, of course, I'm going to have the times where we do some very serious TA, right? And then there are the other times where we're just going to take a look at Bitcoin very loosely, like right now. This way I want to keep everyone up to date, okay? So what is my bias? I'll show you guys my bias. My bias is right here, okay? This is my bias. I'm in a short position right here. Yeah, I actually updated it a while ago, but apparently it didn't update here. So here we are, quickly downtrending here. I'm about to make myself an easy 40. I've been scalping all day, guys. Look at my positions since morning. I've been just doing very small things like, shorting it at 542, selling at 509. I was shorting at 702, 630, just stuff like that, right? I was buying at 620, selling at 832. These are very small scalping positions for me, and I just take advantage of the volatility in the market sometimes and play very low time frames. Today I'm not up a lot. I'm up like maybe $300-400 in all my coins total. But that's good enough for me, like I don't really care about that too much sometimes about the profit. I just more so play for fun and to help you guys out as well. So let's take a look at it on, for example, the 3-hour chart and talk about some candles. We see it kind of double bottoming out right there, right? See this right here? To me, the way I see it is kind of a double bottom. Look, just like that, right? We're gonna eventually break down, in my opinion. I can't see this holding much longer. I don't see this as support. On the 3-hour chart or 6-hour chart, we're finding support in a very weird way right now on the RSI. Yeah, I'll actually do a lot more of these very quick updates for you guys just down the road as well. So I'm just taking a look at my position here, what we're at. Ooh, $11, guys. Oh, that's crazy. Doing so well. Okay, on the 5-minute chart here, we can barely get above the 55 EMA. I mean, it is such a struggle to even break above the 55 EMA on a very low time frame right now. So it's hard for me to believe that an uptrend is actually underway right now. I'll keep you guys updated with my position. So what we see right now, first of all, is we see this trend line, right? I see some sort of weird head and shoulders pattern that could possibly form, but I'm actually just going to remove it because I don't really want to consider it an H&S anymore. My bias changes, really not bias, but my mind changes very quickly because there's always new data coming in, right? And as new data comes in, what we try to do as traders is focus on changing our perspective, and we adapt to situations. So what we see clearly, first of all, is this trend line right here, okay? This is a nice little trend line that's being established on the lower end. And I believe still we're going to hit about 10K, but more importantly, what is happening right now? What is happening right now is I see a wedge that's forming in here. And there's no doubt about that anybody would even argue this, right? We see it kind of confining into this sort of pattern right here with this trend line support down there. We see a lot of different tops here. We can even draw like that and consider some of them bull traps as well, right? So that's definitely a possibility for it to start squeezing into this specific apex right here. And I'm talking about like these trend lines are established from way far back over here, right? Just like that. So what I'm waiting for, excuse me, is a decisive break. Simple as that. I'm waiting for a decisive break in one direction, and I'm pretty confident that's going to be down just based on the slow volume that has been steadily declining right here as well. So yeah, I still expect it. This one was a good hit, right? It hit about 10,800-ish, almost 9, but my target prediction was pretty bearish actually during this view. I didn't think it would retrace up that high here. So the way I'm seeing this, let's break it down further on a 15-minute chart here. So the way I'm seeing this right now is some sort of weird ABC in here, guys. It's like a super weird ABC. And the way I'm seeing this is wave 1 coming down, 3 down here, 4 right there, and that's 5 right there. And now what we're looking for is some sort of ABC corrective pattern. So if I call that ABC in here, let's change this to a minor as well. Let's call this some sort of ABC up here, okay? A, B, C. So yeah, I'm just gonna go here and show you guys my position. So I'm up like, don't mind this. This takes into account like maximum fees right there, which obviously I don't pay maximum fees because my volume is now 20, it's a lot. It's like 20 something million dollars this month that I trade. So how do I get zero fees? Everybody's been wondering that. I get zero fees because I trade more than, okay, if you want to get zero fees on bitfinex for the maker fee, you have to trade more than $7.5 million a month. And I trade over $20 million a month. So in terms of volume, right? So I get definitely the best fees out there. So if you take, just as an example, $10,000, right? The normal maker fee is actually, or sorry, the taker fee is 0.2. So if you take 0.2 of 10K, that's actually, what is that? That's $20, right? So I always try to add on, 0.2% more to this here, because this takes into account the maximum fee, right? The maximum fee is not for me, not for me, but for everybody, like 0.2% that it takes into account here. So I just want to see where my position is going right here. I just want to close it right away. So we're trying to break above the one EMA, like the 1 minute chart 55 EMA, but we can barely do that. So I'm just going to write it down a little bit further here in front of you guys. I always like to take up a little live trade here and there, whether it's on camera or not. If you guys have noticed, I'm a very confident trader, right? I believe in myself a lot. I got no problems at all trading right here in front of you guys anytime. So what I focus on is trading a small amount, such as, I keep a very limited amount of my margin balance there because I try to prevent myself. I have strict discipline, put it that way, okay? Very strict discipline, and I will not play more than I allow myself. And because of the strict discipline that I have, it's allowed me to be very successful. I think that if you want to be a good trader, you have to make sure that you exercise strict discipline always. So you guys are going to see me take this profit here in just a few minutes. It's my target right here before I reevaluate, right? Because I think it's going to go down a little bit lower than here. Actually, even lower than that. Probably way lower than that. I'm already $55 up right here, okay? Already 55 bucks up. Because I just take zero into account all the way. There we go. It's down ticking now, right? 54, 53. And people are probably going to start slowly selling off here. Why did I decide to enter the trade right here, guys? Why? Because I saw it bearishly diverging like this, okay? I saw this bearishly diverging, right? It crossed over here. And I saw it like kind of right about here is where I entered. And I'm like, okay, well, even the 1 minute RSI can't even get a higher one than that. So it's got to be pretty close to the limit already right now. So I'm just going to put my limit here so I can start the video for you guys. Let's just put this at 36 right here, okay? There we go. I just closed my position right there, and I made a very, very easy $57 in front of you guys as well. So every video, I like to make these tiny little videos for you guys to see how I trade and to show you that I'm, not screwing around, right? So this trade for $57, excuse me, was literally a 30-minute trade about. Okay, so I'm going to take my $30 or $57 profit right here in front of you guys, and boom. And I, honestly, guys, I know this is like, you guys probably wouldn't believe this, but I don't really lose a lot of trades. Like, my percentage win is really high. I feel like I've got these skills that are just like, it clicks, it really just clicks to me trading the short-term day trading market right there. And the reason I don't lose a lot is because I can also manage my risk as well. I get stopped out, don't get me wrong, I get stopped out all the time, but because of the way I'm managing my risk as well, by adding, by shedding, right, just by laddering as well, by trying to catch tops like this. I'm a big shorter, if you guys haven't noticed, right? Pretty much every single one of my videos that you guys see is pretty much me shorting the market, and people do not like shorters. They think that people who short the market they ruin it, right? So anyways, quick $57. I'm going to take out Val to dinner with my little $57 profit there. That's going to be awesome. So anyways, what I'm getting to is we're going to end up trending down here, guys. We're going to possibly end up trending along this trend line right there. And then I think we're just going to break it. every time I've been releasing these kind of videos where I think it's going to downtrend, what do you guys think has happened? We have downtrended, okay? Look how far we've downticked already. I could have closed my position way later and I could have got myself $40 instead of 57. But you guys do the math, okay? Like, we're talking about $100 in less than an hour. I don't know about you guys, but that to me is a lot of money. Regardless of how much money you have, you gotta appreciate how much money there is in this market that can be made. I used to go to work, guys, and you know, like when I was younger, like $100, think about that. You're at work for like 8 hours. In some countries, $100 is literally what they earn in a month. So it makes me really appreciative that I've got this opportunity to make this amount. And when people say things like, oh, you're only making $50 or $100, I'm like, man, you guys got a horrible attitude, because people would kill in the world to make $57, $80, $100, $200, right? A month, literally. I come from a country called Laos, Laos. It's a landlocked country between like Cambodia, Vietnam, Myanmar, China, and Thailand as well. And it's a really poor country. Like, I think it's like the third poorest country in the world based on GDP, and that's where my family comes from, right? And when I was born in Canada, just so you guys know, okay? I'm Canadian. Actually, that's not true at all. I wasn't born in Canada. My family is from Laos, and they lived in a refugee camp where I was born, right? They escaped Laos and they saved up their entire life savings to pay some guy on a boat to, you know, bring my mom, my dad, and I to another country, to Thailand, so we can stay in the refugee camp, right? It was bad. Like, they stayed in the camp for about 5 years, and I was born there. I was about 11 months before we got our papers to come to Canada. So I was born in Thailand. I'm from Laos. I speak it actually as fluent as I speak English, believe it or not. I speak it incredibly well. My parents made sure that I understood it. So I speak a few languages, put it that way. You know, I understand and speak French understand it very well. I don't speak it that well anymore. Who am I kidding? And I understand Japanese because I studied it in university for a few years. So 4 languages under my belt. Anyways, and then we moved to Canada, right? And then they had nothing here. So they always made me appreciate small gains. You know, like, they taught me the importance of a dollar. But at the same time, they also taught me that even though money is very important, it's also not important because it doesn't add to the value of your life. All that it does is makes things a little bit more simple. So whoever says, ooh, $57 is not a lot, they need to get off of their 33-foot yacht, you know, from their Beverly Hills kind of mentality home, and just start appreciating things that they have, because a lot of people don't have what we have. And this is why I'm actually really grateful, guys, for this opportunity. This is one of the main reasons, believe it or not, I want to help out, is because I know so many messages, and it touches my heart when people say things like, I'm from the Philippines, you know, and I make $240 a month, and now I can provide I can provide for my family because you've taught me how to trade. Or, you know, people from Peru, or people from just very impoverished countries compared to our amazing first world country, that we do not realize how good we have it, guys. You guys don't freaking realize how good you have it compared to other people in the world. I don't realize it, okay? I've never lived in that kind of setting, but it takes a lot of sympathy. We can only sympathize, right? And try to understand what other countries and people are going through financially. We cannot empathize one bit because we've never been in their shoes, right? So empathy is a completely different topic. So you guys need to be very grateful of all these profits that we have the potential to make. And guys, this is why I help out. I cannot stop myself from helping out because I know where other people in the world are in. And my ultimate goal is, you know, I'm going to be helping out a lot, put it that way, back at home. My parents, they travel back and forth every year pretty much to go to Laos. And eventually they'll end up settling down there, I'm sure. And yeah, it's going to be one of my main focuses to help out the community there as well. Anyways, just want to tell you guys a little bit about myself, right? We've downticked literally $100 since I've made this video over here, okay? We're most likely going to trend into this specific zone right here. And then after we trend to this specific zone, guess what, guys? What do you think is going to happen? 10K, all right? Now, I need to talk about this very clearly again, okay? That this needs to hold, guys. Like, the bearish scenario right now, like next week, I've changed my bias to neutral. And I've changed my bias to neutral because I simply don't know if we're going to get a wave failure or not. I'm trying to offer right now a bullish scenario, right? And the bullish scenario is that we correct somewhere between 94.64 and 10K. 10K psychological number is about right there. But if that fails, guys, like I want to be very clear that if 94.64 fails, where do I get this number from? Right around this region right here, okay? This region right there, big peak, right? And also right here as well, okay? Big peak, 9400 range right there. I should extend it outwards so you guys see. Major, major, major as well, right here, major, guys. This whole zone is pretty major. That's where I'm getting this 10K to 9500 range from. If that fails, then this is our last hope. This is our last fighting chance right here, guys. I kid you not that I know Elliott Wave so well, and I used to document, guys, like every single case scenario and see how many times other coins would fail. And I know with certainty 100% that if we break these Elliott Wave rules, where wave 4 retraces heavily into wave 1 territory, bam, we are completely done this bull run. And now there's been a lot of different scenarios of bear runs and bearish mentality. In fact, Tony Vase just made one of the most ridiculously critical videos that I've ever seen. Oh geez, I gotta talk to you guys about this video that he made. He was basically talking about an inverse cup and handle here. I'm like, what? Come on, professional traders do not really use inverse cup and handles, okay? We don't even look at cup and handles, Tony. Like, I'm sorry to say this, guys, but he's talking about a scenario like this, right? And he's talking about the handle where we retrace 3-2 up like that, and then the base range of the cup is where we target. And he was saying that if this was a cup and handle right here, and this was the base range, and then we targeted the base range, the target is 0. I'm like, oh my goodness, Tony, like, come on, you cannot say crap like that to scare the friggin' public, okay? He's like a professional and prominent figure, the former VP of JP Morgan. Like, you guys don't, I'm sorry to say that, but that really upset me when he watched when I watched him in that video, right? And then you know, some people, it was live, so some people were asking him like, oh, what about from Elliott Wave theory, right? And I happened to be there, and I didn't even say anything, and they're like, oh, you should watch this guy Philicon. Then I'm like, I'm right here in the channel, and someone's like, show us Elliott Wave, and then he went to Google, and then he's like, oh, I don't even know how to spell Elliott Wave. I'm like, what, Tony? Come on. You know about TD sequential, you know about time analysis, but not Elliott Wave. Like, these are pretty basic topics to me that every professional should know, right? So, yeah, anyways, so I don't like hearing people talk about the most extreme scenarios. Like when he talked about Bitcoin going to, you know, like when he talked about Bitcoin going to $3,000, right, from 20K. I didn't like that at all either, guys. So, and you know what? He's a guy on Wall Street. He's a Wall Street guy, right? It's the same thing as me talking about Charlie Lee, for example. We're talking about guys that are super up there, right, in terms of prominence in the community. So it's okay for me to talk about someone like that. It's not like I'm talking bad about someone that I highly respect, like Eric Cho, for example, where him and I are more so on the same level, for example, in terms of what we do for the community. So it's okay for me to not bash, but talk like in this kind of manner about a very prominent person, because it's not like he's going to watch my videos. It's not like he's going to get back to me and respond. You know, he's a professional on Wall Street who's involved with people like Jimmy Song, who's a main developer for Bitcoin, right? So you know, it's okay for me to say things like that. But once again, like, yeah, people shouldn't create FUD, you know? They should not create FUD whatsoever. And I don't think that this is going to be a cup and, like, come on, an inverse cup and handle. You know, there's a trader joke for a reason, right? The trader joke goes like this, guys, that whenever you're really tired, you see cup and handles everywhere, okay? That is a trader joke amongst all professionals, you can say, that make fun of people who look at cup and handles. Cup and handles are really not looked at. I will tell you that right now. Every cup and handle pattern can be broken down severely, okay? It can be broken down, like we're talking about really, really broken down to the point where, like, head and shoulders is broken down to Elliott Wave. Cup and shoulder is cup and handle is broken down to Elliott Wave as well, right? So yeah, I'm sorry for getting a little bit worked up there. I just didn't like that scenario. But what I'm getting to is, like, don't discount for a moment that these waves can fail, okay? Because when wave failure does occur, it'll be nasty, and you guys will see what I mean, okay? If we do not get an impulse wave up, and this 90.74 does not hold, I want to be very clear that the moment that 94.64 doesn't hold, this is going to be a zone where I'm going to start considering a bearish scenario, guys. No doubt about it. Right now, I've got no reason to assume any type of bearish scenario yet, because we can't assume that wave 4 is going to fail when we don't have any data, because everything looks like a perfect bull run right now, right? Thus far, that is. So I got no reason to assume it other than this hit a very critical resistance, right? This point right here hit like a crazy resistance point, which was obtained from like all the way here, guys, like super far back we're talking about, right? Major resistance right there. So like what I'm looking for is two things basically. One, how deep this wave 4 retracement will go to, and two, how will we break this massive resistance right here that we see, right? And it's also a part of a lot of different Fibonacci levels as well there. So we got to see, will this channel support hold? If not, will it go down to 94.64? If not, will it go down to here, right? And then if not that, then bam, wave failure, and we just completely take this off the table. Then Elliott wave is counted a completely different way as well. So yeah, so I just wanted to wrap things up and let you guys know that right here, we are kind of in a zone right now of just kind of figuring things out. See, take a look at my scalping skills, guys. I just want to show you my scalping skills, okay? So I shorted from about there or something, and I closed it right around there, right? I don't remember. 90, no, I shorted from up here 98-ish. I closed it right around there. And of course, I could have closed it down earlier, but I minimized my risk, right? I also lowered my exposure. And look now, we're already up a lot, right? We're already up like $30 more than where I closed it, right? So that's kind of the skills that I have in scalping right there. So anyways, I hope that this video has added some insight. I'm sorry for ranting a little bit in terms of you know, talking about Tony Vase there and also Jimmy Song. But I respect both of them highly, don't get me wrong, okay? I look up to both of them. They're very prominent people in the community. I appreciate and respect everything that they've done for the Bitcoin community especially, right? Jimmy Song's an amazing developer. Tony Vase is an amazing financial advisor and consultant, okay? And they do really good work in the community. But at the same time, you got to question why people are saying things like, oh, if this was an inverse cup and handle, we're going to go to zero. Like, you just do not say things like that, okay? Because it scares the community and it causes a lot of FUD, right? It's no different than the media, for example, that are saying things like that as well, right? Oh, like Bitcoin to $900. Like, come on. Stop spreading FUD. Keep it to the facts and keep it real. And the facts right now is that we're about to trend into here. Right? This wick actually touched this lower support range right there. And yeah, this was a big downtrend. We're getting a bullish spinning top, but the volume is slowly decreasing, right? I mean, for all we know, like the most bullish scenario possible, guys, the most bullish scenario would that we just break out of here and we uptrend, right? That would be amazing if that happened, where this was actually wave 4, like right there. But you guys gotta wonder, like, could that really be it? That's it, the 236 fib retracement, barely 382. Are we that bullish? If we were, we would have done it already, right? So if I go to 1 hour chart, it's so easy to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we see A, B, C, and you know, it just looks like that this is going to be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down, something like that, right? 3, just based on how it's looking right now. So how could I really think anything otherwise? 4 probably won't get that high. It'll probably bounce off of this resistance right there. So doesn't that make sense, guys, that this is a really likely case? I've got no other arguments, and I look forward to your comments and your feedback as well to see where I went wrong or where I went right. So make sure you guys are always providing good feedback in the community. But you know what, like I have a lot of people that just try to come up to me and tell me you're wrong. If you guys think that I'm wrong, I respect that, but make sure you're providing proof, right? You cannot talk about what you think and what you feel. You have to talk through your charts. That is the most important thing. And then I've also got some people that their main job is to try to prove me wrong, right? And I don't like that kind of mentality because it comes off as very unconstructive, and nobody reacts well to unconstructive criticism, right? Where they think that they know it all. So we got to make sure we keep a very respectful type of environment. We got to make sure that we approach things constructively in this field. Because, you know, why try to prove me wrong if you guys are going to be like that? It just makes no sense at all, because I'll of course approach it hot, like a little hostile, right? So, sorry guys, I always talk about a lot of psychology and other random things in my videos, but you guys know where I stand, and I'm going to end the video right here. If you guys enjoy these videos, I would appreciate an upvote on Steemit, and make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share the material as well on YouTube and on Twitter. Have yourselves a great night, and this will be my last evening update for now. Bye now.